Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another very informative and important video on the top 10 Schengen countries giving easiest visas for Indian passport holders. Now, as you already know guys, Schengen visa is one of the most difficult visas to get on your Indian passport, and you have to submit so many documents. You have to go through a lot of process. So in this video, I'll talk about the top 10 countries issuing Schengen visas easily now in July 2025. So without wasting any time, as you can see on my screen, 98% of you who are regularly watching my content are non-subscribers. So kindly hit that subscribe button and support my channel. Number one country on this list is Iceland with an approval rate of 91.25% for Indian passport holders. Now, if you guys don't know, Iceland is having only 2 or 3 slots per week in VFS Global. That means that they are accepting very less amount of applications and validating those applications really well. And Iceland is one of those countries where if you miss out on a documentation, or if you have not submitted anything properly, they will give you a call back or they will send you an email, and then they will get those documentations and then only process your visa. As they accept very less applications, more and more acceptance rate is coming forward very lately compared to 2023, compared to 2024, and first half of 2025 till June. Iceland has received more than 57% applications from Indian passport holders. And just 2 months back guys, one of my colleague who's working with me got his Iceland visa in 2.5 working days when he applied through VFS Bangalore. The only thing that you need to keep in mind while applying for Iceland visa is apply your VFS or book your VFS slots well in advance, because per week they have 2 or 3 slots and you might not get the appointment up to 2 or 3 months. So you'll have to be very proactive, book your VFS slots. You have to pay and then book your VFS slots and then go on that day, because if you don't go on that day, you'll have to reschedule on the same day, or you will get an appointment again after 2 to 3 months. So you'll have to be very careful when booking Iceland slots through VFS, because the slots are very limited. Number 2 on the list is Slovakia with an approval rate of 99.25%. Now 89.25% is a lot when compared to Slovakia, because not a lot of Indian passport holders are considering to apply for Slovakia. Most of the countries they target is either Switzerland, France or Italy or any of these countries. Slovakia has received very least number of Indian passport holder applications. Whomever they have got, they have an approval rate of 89.25%. So like I said guys, it's not so popular with Indian passport holders, but certainly Slovakia is processed very fast, and if you submit your applications through Slovakia, rest assured that your applications will be processed much faster. Number 3 is one of those countries where its food is very famous in India, and we Indians love their food. I am talking about none other than Italy. Italian food is very famous in India, and as you know, everybody loves pizza. So Italy has an approval rate of 88.72%. Italy is also very famous with Indian travelers. Recently, one of my close friends applied to Italy visa from Japan. He is an Indian passport holder and he got his visa within 4 working days. And wherever you're applying from on an Indian passport, Italy is having a very decent rate of approval rates, and the visa processing time is just within 3 to 4 business days. If you have submitted all your documentation and all the application submission is proper, you will get your visa, rest assured. And Italy is also having very limited slots per week, not 2 or 3 like Iceland, but not as much as France as well. So you'll have to book your appointment in VFS as soon as possible and then go visit VFS and get your visas. Number 4 on this list is the country that has been recently added to the Schengen zone, making it 29 countries in the Schengen zone, is Romania, having an approval rate of 88.36 to Indian passport holders. Guys, even before, when Romania was not part of Schengen zone, a lot of Indian passport holders have applied to Romania and have got their visas. Now Romania is part of the Schengen zone. It's part of those 29 countries where you can visit with one visa. Romania is offering visas for Indian passport holders as a part of Schengen visa and got an approval rate of 88.36%. Again, Romania along with Slovakia is not so popular with Indian passport holders very recently, but whomever has applied to Romania in the recent past 3 to 6 months have been successful in getting their visas. Now, 2 or 3 of my subscribers reached out to me for preparing cover letters for Romania, and I did prepare good cover letters to them, and I got their visas very recently, and they did call me on Instagram and thank me for giving cover letters, guys. So if you have a requirement for cover letters or day-to-day itinerary for anything that sorts, please do ping me on Instagram. I'll get your cover letters prepared, day-to-day itineraries prepared. Any doubts on your visa, I'll clarify them at a very reasonable price. So please do ping me on Instagram. I'll not charge anything for your doubts, of course, but if you're looking for cover letter or itinerary, definitely I'll be interested to prepare them, and my intention is to avoid visa agents. Get your visas on your own. Number 5 on this list is one of the most favorite country for Indian passport holders and for Bollywood, that is Switzerland, which is having an approval rate of 88.12%. Now Switzerland, guys, a lot of people prefer to go to Switzerland for their honeymoons or their first Europe trip. Now, as you have seen a lot of Bollywood movies, Switzerland was marketed from 80s to 90s to early 2000s, and it's been continuously going. So if you talk about Europe, the first thing that comes to your mind is the Swiss Alps and Switzerland. So Switzerland, again, guys, is one of the dream destinations for many travelers. I have also not been to Switzerland in my last Schengen trip that I visited in 2024 of September. I am also due to visit Switzerland very soon, but Switzerland has been one of the top countries for Indian passport holders. You have a lot of Indian restaurants in Switzerland, lot of Indian restaurants very recently, and Switzerland is something that is definitely at your bucket list, and the acceptance rate of Switzerland, guys, is not been bad at all. It is very good. So if you have your documentation properly, if you have your cover letter or day-to-day itinerary prepared very well, rest assured getting a Schengen visa for Switzerland shouldn't be a problem at all. Again, you'll have to book your VFS slots very well in advance, because there is too much demand for applications to Switzerland, and too much applications means too much demand. Too much demand means a bit higher rejection rates. You have to be very smart in booking your VFS slots and going according to the time slot. Number 6 on this list, surprisingly, guys, is Hungary with an approval rate of 87.23%. Now, along with Slovakia, along with Romania, Hungary has a very good approval rate for Indian passport holders, and since October of 2024 till the first half of 2025, Hungary has received over 4,000 applications from Indian passport holders, and there is a sudden rise. Usually Indian passport holders do visit Hungary, but when they apply for German, France or other visas, definitely they will visit, but applying directly to Hungary is slightly increased in the past 3 to 4 months. So please do consider applying for Hungary. Your visa might be processed very faster, because not many people choose Hungary. Recently we can see the growth to Hungary, that it's kept on growing, but do consider Hungary when you're confused or when you don't have a particular itinerary. Do consider Hungary as well, along with your other countries where you're planning to travel or planning to go, because Hungary does process visas very quick. Number 7 on this list, and my first ever Schengen visa was through Norway. Now, Norway has got an approval rate of 87.20%, and I am being one of them who got Norwegian visa last September of 2024. I went to Norway first. I landed in Norway. I got my Schengen visa. I landed in Norway, and then I explored Europe and came back to India, that is Bangalore. So if you haven't checked my videos, guys, about my overall experience of Schengen visa through Norway, please do check out my videos. You'll have some very interesting points, and you'll definitely enjoy that video, and it's going to be very informative in terms of what difficulties I had to face, what were the challenges I had to face when I applied for Norwegian visa, and I've also explained the step-by-step process on how to apply Norwegian visa. Number 8 on this list is Greece with an approval rate of 85.86%. Now, as you know, guys, Greece, Athens is again very famous with Indian passport holders. Now, recently, a lot of my colleagues, friends, cousins went to Europe, and they definitely had Greece on their list. So Greece is also very close to Istanbul. It shares its border with Turkey, and Istanbul is easily accessible from Greece. So if you're planning your Schengen trip, ensure that Greece is your last destination, and from there with Schengen visa, you can visit Turkey, go to Istanbul, and then come from Istanbul to India. The flights are also very cheap when you compare to Europe. So you can plan your trip very, very smartly and include Greece in your itinerary, especially the last country where you're flying back, coming to India, Greece to Turkey, and then back to India. So you can plan your trip very well. Include Greece in your day-to-day include Greece in your day-to-day itinerary, and ensure Greece is part of your Schengen countries, as it's very close to Istanbul and shares its border with Turkey. It's easily accessible, and you can hit another country along with your Schengen countries to Turkey and then come back to India. So please guys, do consider Greece in your itinerary. Number 9 and 10 on this list is Austria and Luxembourg with an approval rate of 87.78 and 87.65%. Now these both countries guys is definitely underrated in terms of Indian passport holders applying to these visas, but this has got a very, very good approval rate, especially Luxembourg. Now Luxembourg is considered as a day trip mostly with Indian passport holders, because flights to Luxembourg or exiting from Luxembourg or Austria, flights are very expensive from India, and you have direct flights only available from Delhi, and that too very rare. So people tend to land in different countries like Germany or France. Now if you talk about going from Bangalore to Germany, flights are very cheap compared to other countries. So people tend to apply for cheaper countries where flights are cheaper, and then go to those countries where they can afford and travel smoothly, and then from there travel to other countries. Now Luxembourg was part of my list previously when I wanted to visit, but unfortunately I couldn't hit Luxembourg. So this time when I'm planning, I'll surely go to Luxembourg, because it is one of the most safest and cleanest cities of Europe. So Austria and Luxembourg both guys, please do consider applying visas for these countries. If you don't have any intention of applying for this top 8, apply for these countries. Again, one more thing you have to be sure is you have to go through the Schengen rule book, land in this country first, or stay highest number of days in these countries, or exit from these countries when you're applying for these visas. Because if you do not meet that, then it's going to be problem. And when you do not have an entry or an exit stamp from one of these countries that you apply, what's going to happen is next time when you're applying for Schengen visa, you might have rejection. So be very careful when you're applying for Schengen visas and follow the Schengen rule book properly. And if you're looking for cover letter or itinerary, I'm very happy to inform you that I've prepared cover letter and itineraries for so many people, and all of them have got their visas. I haven't seen much rejections, or not even one rejection so far. I've prepared cover letters for Australia visa, Japan visa, UK visa, Schengen visa, etc. And depending upon your profile, I prepare the Schengen cover letters, and based on my experience. It's not like you go to ChatGPT, copy paste them guys. If you go to ChatGPT, copy paste, definitely your visa will be rejected, because it gives you a very generic format, and you would not want to submit with that robot auto generated format. So kindly be proactive or pragmatic when it comes to cover letter and itineraries. If you have any difficulties, do ping me on Instagram. I'll prepare it for at a very, very reasonable cost. So I hope this information is very, very valuable and informative. Please share this video across to all your friends and family who's going to Schengen country or planning for a Europe trip. I'll catch you guys in my next video.